Hi, everybody. It's Jane Emily from Trio Student Support Services here at Sonoma State, and we're back with our second installment, part 2, Habits of Effective Readers. So let's jump in. So there are two things that are very important for you to consider. If you happen to be one of these readers who gets lost frequently, you start, you sit down, you think you have to read every word, and you begin your reading and you get to the bottom of the page and suddenly you're like, I completely lost my focus. I have no idea what I just read. Then the chances are you need to think more mindfully about your purpose for reading. So how can you do this? Well, we know that effective readers read with a purpose. And an important way you can start to sharpen your focus here is by asking yourself, what do I know about this topic? Okay, so effective readers will ask themselves this because basically it primes your brain to receive the new information from the text you're about to read. We know this from research, and this is one of the reasons why your instructors at Sonoma State will often have you begin a new unit or a new topic by perhaps having you discuss in groups or do a free write. And again, all of this is activating your past knowledge, your past experiences, so that you can connect the new information you're about to receive to what you already know. Another important question to ask yourself is, what do I expect to learn from the text? Effective readers always have the expectation that a text will yield meaning. And so considering this question, again, is a way to sort of sharpen your focus and your purpose for reading. You want to ask, what questions do I have about the text? And consider, why has my instructor assigned this? Has my instructor assigned any questions? So you would want it to check Canvas for that week's reading to see if there are questions posted there, or perhaps there's some in the syllabus. Or if you're reading a college level textbook, flip to the back of the chapter to see if there are discussion questions posted at the end of the chapter. All of this should help sharpen your purpose for reading, right? These are considered sort of like the learning outcomes. By the time you finish the chapter, you should be able to answer the following points. Okay. And then finally, consider your larger purpose. Why are you reading? Are you reading to study for a test? That may be very different in terms of the way you attack that text than if you're reading to conduct research, or if you're reading to answer discussion questions. That may be very different than if you're doing a step-by-step guide, a how-to on learning how to do a new activity. Those are all examples of different purposes. Now, this brings me to the companion piece that's closely associated, and that is that effective readers read with flexibility. So being flexible in your reading is very much linked to what and why you're reading. And it's kind of akin to going down the freeway, right? If you have just one gear, one speed, it's going to be kind of a disaster. You can't go down the freeway at 15 miles an hour. So same idea here with being flexible. It depends on what you're reading. Are you looking at a train schedule? You're not going to read everything. You're going to attack that text in a very focused and targeted way. You're going to look at your watch and say it's 3 o'clock. When's the next train? And you're going to look specifically for that information, or when is my train? That's very different than if you're reading a love letter, right? Where you're going to read slowly and savor every word and linger on that text and reread it, right? So again, reading a novel for pleasure, very different than reading a dense and difficult book. Or are you reading to review journal articles for research that you need to conduct? The bottom line is that effective readers know when and how to shift gears. So the two strategies we're going to look at in the next segment are skimming and scanning. We'll talk about why those are helpful to you to increase both your flexibility and to sharpen your purpose as you read. Okay, see you next time.